What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. So, as you man saw at the start of this video, your man's Deontay Wilder has broken his silence and posted up some more training footage. This right here was leaked. One of my dons, who's close to Wilder, within the Deontay Wilder camp, leaked me this and said, "Listen, YB, this is what currently your man's Deontay Wilder is working with." Now, what we know is, I broke the news a few months ago now, or a few weeks ago now, we do know the reason we keep seeing these kind of training videos. Don't forget, it wasn't long ago, Deontay Wilder put a video out that he snapped his shoulder doing the bench pressing 50 kilos, and his pigeon chest. Listen, Deontay Wilder's pigeon chest betrayed him, no doubt, and his elbows were snapping, his shoulders were snapping. But listen, the reason I'm going back and explaining that is to tell you, man, again, what we know is now confirmed 100%. The reason we keep seeing these training videos is because guess what? He ain't sparring. There is no sparring partners in the camp. Don't forget. Remember when Tyson Fury got whooped before the July 24th date, or whenever that July fight was supposed to be, yeah? Do you remember in the camp what happened there? Yeah, Jared Anderson and a whole bag of dons was giving Fury the work. Yeah? Fury was getting rolled like an old nag. No doubt, 100%. But my point is, guess what? Yes, Fury got the work in sparring. Yes, Fury got whooped so hard he had to pull out because he was super duper scary. Getting whooped some more by Wilder. But the fact is, guess what? Your man's Fury, had sparring partners in the camp. Names there. Pictures there, dates there. Show me any pictures you man have seen with Wilder, with any sparring partner. Oops. Just one, not 10. Because we've seen, it's not rocket science here. Show me just one. One picture, and it's the thing. Like I was telling you, that's the reason we keep seeing these random training videos. What you'll notice about the training videos is Wilder will be on his own, or he'll be with Malik Scott. Malik Scott's got this weird fruity thing going on, where he wants to isolate Deontay Wilder. I think he might be a bit, insecure in his position. For example, if you're secure in your position as trainer, you don't mind having people around. Yeah? You don't mind experiencing new things. But guess what? What do we know? Your man's Malik Scott. Yes, he stay talking. And often what we know about psychology is the ones that stay talking the most about how confident they are, really, they're not confident. So what's my point here? My point is, the reason we keep seeing these training videos, if you look behind the veil, you'll notice a few things. There's no training partners there. Never. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. You tell me. What we know is, historically speaking, how many times have we seen AJ in camp? There's always people around him. It was only about a month ago I leaked a video from AJ, and we actually saw him dancing around with a sparring dude. Yeah, there's always news articles on different AJ sparring partners, different Tyson Fury sparring partners. Not one. Not one from Deontay Wilder. Now, again, trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. Listen, your man's Malik Scott is insecure. Insecure. Why be? How do you know he's insecure? Well, what do we know? I don't only mean in terms of him being a new trainer, and he's like, I don't want to lose my position. Malik Scott is insecure and nervous because, or in particular, the reason why he hasn't brought any sparring partners in, from what I'm hearing, from what I've heard from people close to the situation, is because, what do we know? If Malik Scott can go on all the interviews he wants and talks about, oh man, we making big moves, and look at 78 IQ and Blue Balls Sports TV. He stay riding me, and Blue Balls knows Deontay Wilder is new now. He different. He training differently. He throwing his shots differently. Yeah, Malik Scott can be doing all that he wants. He can talk about all the different things he wants. But you know what he can't do? He can't bring real sparring partners in to test it. Oops. Yeah? Oops. Is it all adding up to you, man, now? I hope that last 5 minutes making sense now. Now it all adds up. Right, we keep seeing the training part, we keep seeing the random goofy training, and all of a sudden, we've never seen Wilder lift weights. We've never seen Wilder skip rope. All of a sudden, we see videos skipping rope, lifting weights. You ain't seen no sparring partners, never. Malik Scott He's staying in. Think about it. Why is it we've seen 20 videos of Malik Scott gassing the place up, 20 interviews, but not one sparring partner nowhere? Oops, they're entering in the camp. So it's all well and good. I was going to do a video analysing this footage, but it kind of dawned on me. My Don, who's in the camp, said it, and I thought, nah, he must have some sparring partners there. But the more I think about it now, and to be fair, my source inside Wilder's camp, he's never lied before, but you got to remember that this is a very tumultuous time for Deontay Wilder, so I'm not sure, you can never, is my source double bluffing kind of thing? Are they trying to lure the YB in to get something wrong? You just don't know. But what we know is, there ain't no evidence of any sparring partners. And listen, Deontay Wilder fans out there, don't be mad at me. If you disagree, to show some evidence. Don't talk, don't moan, don't complain. Oh man, YB, he don't have no sources. Okay, where the sparring partners at then? If I don't have no sources, where are the sparring partners at? Yeah, don't need to talk about anything. Just send the link. Just send the evidence. So I've shown you all the evidence and then in the camp. Your man's Malik Scott. He stay talking, but he don't want to test his fit. He don't want to test his stuff, because he knows, you know what? If I bring some sparring partners in and Wilder gets whooped, number one, we already know Wilder's super duper vulnerable, mentally speaking. He's already lingering on the edge. He can't afford to get whooped in sparring like Tyson Fury did and have to pull out. So there's a lot deeper things going on here. Malik Scott, so many in a way I feel sorry for Malik Scott. He can't bring sparring partners in. Number one, if Wilder gets whooped, Wilder going to fall apart. They need to go back to that old way of, or they're trying to, best they can, go back to that old way of thinking. Oh man, I'm the most feared in the division. All that kind of stuff. Rather than how people become truly the most feared is, look at what Mike Tyson was doing. Mike Tyson would be in there chomping through dudes in sparring. Chomping them up. That's how you get truly the most feared. But these new age 2021 fruity tooties, the way they do it is, oh man, if we don't bring those sparring partners in, then we just hit the pairs. Because listen, anyone knows, yeah, novice or not, myself included, we all know, everyone, again, myself included, when you finish a session on the pads, you think, listen, there's no way, I'm telling you now, if you can box it even a little bit, after a session on the pads, I don't care what no one says, everyone thinks, listen, there's no way someone can take that shot. Yeah, I don't care. And that's me, who ain't even a boxer. Imagine Deontay, and I'm quite sane as well. Deontay Wilder's insane. So if I'm a sane man, and I go on the pads, or on a heavy bag, and I think, well, there's just no way a man can take that shot. Yeah? Too hit. You know what I'm saying? There's too much snap. There's just no way. If I'm thinking that, what do you think Wilder thinking? On the bags. Especially when he's got a whole team around him, just stroking him off as well. That's the other thing. I ain't got no mans around me stroking me off, but even so, whenever I touch the bag or touch the pad, I think, wow. The human frame ain't designed to take that kind of blunt force. Do you understand? Yeah? So imagine Wilder now. He's got Malik Scott stroking him off before, during, and after every session. Getting stroked off by Malik. What we know is Malik can't bring no training partners in. That's what he's not going to do. Because that, yeah? Stroking off and pads only works when you ain't got nothing to test it. And we know he's always been good at working the pads. And that's ultimately what this footage shows. I can't lie to you. On a technical level, I actually was quite intrigued to see when he's doing that shadow boxing, he actually was throwing some hooks like Mike Tyson. We could see him, he was short. He was whipping the short hook and twisting his hips and moving his shoulders into it, snapping it. Nice and short. That's how similar to how Mike used to do it. I've never seen Wilder be doing that, but again, this happened last time. Wilder always, in pad sessions, in shadow boxing sessions, he's always looked alright. So what can we conclude? Oh wow, YB. Wilder's whipping a Mike Tyson snap hook. Let's see how, once he gets punched in the mouth, yeah, let's see if he got that same composure. Takes composure to hold your technique. And guess what? Wilder throughout his career has had absolutely no composure. When he's in the middle of a fight, he just goes, whoa. He starts wilding out the most. Open. He literally, his arms straight. That's why Wilder always busts his shoulder and busts his biceps. Because he punches the opposite of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has the best form for hooks and uppercuts. Nice and short. 90-degree angle should be the maximum angle of any uppercut, any hook really. Otherwise you're straining your bicep. Wilder, he literally hitting people with his open hand. Makes no sense from a power point of view, but what, if you look at this footage, it looks good. You think, wow. But is it going to translate? Wilder fans, they praying. And what worries me is, or what frustrates me, because at this point, I'm done with Fury. I want him to get knocked out cold, truth be known. He irritates me now. The whole family irritates me. John Fury running around scary with Mickey Fee, I'm sick of it. Tommy Fury in there, pathetic, irritates me. They need knocking out all three of them. That's my opinion. So in a way I'm rooting for Wilder, but I'm not going to sit here and shill or lie. The facts are, I'd love to sit here and tell you, yeah, wow, look. Yes, I've seen Wilder maybe developing his hooks and making them shorter. But what I can't tell you is that, oh look. Look how Wilder, look how we've just seen a 10-second clip of Wilder get punched in the mouth and then counter with a short right hook or a short left hook. Do you understand? We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that 5-second clip of footage that sees Wilder getting punched in the mouth and come back with a short hook. That would tell me, you know what, man? I don't know. He's showing that under pressure, in the thick of things, he's holding his composure. Everyone, I've explained to you already, everyone can be on the pads and think, wow, I'm a demon. I've got too much snap. Yeah, the human frame can't take this shot. No way. No doubt. We can all be there, up in there. Yeah? Inevitably, when someone gets in front of you, that power ain't there. You know what I'm saying? All that power you had on the bag, it don't show up. 9 times out of 10. So, it's a shame that we've got professional, and this is what I was telling you, man, in general, about the 2021 fruity tooty trainers. This is the state of boxing training. No matter what we say about Wilder, it's a shame that we've got one of the top boxers in the world. In terms of earnings, Wilder must be probably top 15. Top 15 boxers in the world. Top 10 maybe. And he's being trained by a trainer who's just who doesn't want to risk his fighter in sparring. So all he does is pads and go in the sea and shadow box all day. Malik Scott doesn't want to get exposed. Malik Scott can't afford for Wilder to get roughed up in sparring. And then, what happens then? And this is the problem. In a way, you have to blame Deontay Wilder. Because what's Deontay Wilder done? Deontay Wilder's made an atmosphere of fear. Yeah? In as much as what happened when things went wrong with Mark Breland. He got thrown so far under the bus. If it wasn't for the fact Deontay Wilder's fully delusional, that could have seriously hurt Mark Breland's career. Making accusations with no evidence. If I was Mark Breland, I'd have sued him, to be fair. Them kind of accusations. That could easily have affected Mark Breland's ability to make earnings in the future. That's the cardinal sin. A fighter claims the trainer poisoned the drink. That's a potentially, if people believed it, if it wasn't for Deontay Wilder being 10 out of 10 delusional, that would be career ending, wouldn't it? If people believe that, it'd be career ending. As it happens, thankfully, no one believes anything Deontay Wilder says, so it's alright. But still, back to my original point, Deontay Wilder has created an atmosphere of fear. So how does that all feed back into this new camp? Well, your man's Malik Scott, who already has never trained no one at this level, or at all really, has he? So you call a spade here. Malik Scott is a brand new trainer. So you've got a brand new trainer. It's a bit like Ben Davidson when he was training Tyson Fury. He was super scary, wasn't he? He was looking to pull Fury out in that 9th round. Oh, I've got to get him out of here. Super scary. Super duper scary. And Freddie Roach was telling him, listen man, relax. Sit down somewhere. Let me crack on. Sit down somewhere, Goofy. 2021 Goofy. Let me, Hall of Famer, handle this. Yeah? That's what Freddie was doing, but Ben was wilding out. Now, Malik Scott is already brand new. So he's already got that brand new nerves. Am I really a good trainer? Combined with that, he's dealing with the stress and the pressure of the atmosphere of fear. If he brings a sparring partner in, Wilder gets licked up, he's thinking, well, I can't bring no sparring partners in. And I think from what I've heard, Malik Scott, for the last few months, has been basically planting the seed in Deontay Wilder's head. Oh yeah, well, you see, the thing is, we don't want to bring sparring partners in because, we don't. The way we're training now, we're too strong, we're too powerful. We don't really want to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to. I'm not sure exactly the things that are being said, but essentially, I've heard that Malik Scott has been planting for the last 6 months before this camp started. Malik Scott was planting things in Deontay Wilder's head to basically convince him on some inception thing that having sparring partners in the camp would be a bad idea. So eventually, 2 days before this camp starts, Deontay Wilder came up with it. Oh, you know what? This camp, we're not going to have sparring partners. But that was incepted by Malik Scott. Because he's thinking, if I bring some Don in and he gets punched up, I'm out of here. Or worse yet, I'm being accused of being put someone in drink. Yeah? Who wants to be down bad as that? Oh, man, Malik Scott, he put some in my drink and I got punched up in sparring and he got me down bad and, he cheating. That's what's going to happen, 100%. If Malik Scott brought a sparring partner in and punched him up, that would have been it. Malik Scott's career over. Even more over than it already was when he jumped on the floor, when he didn't get hit. Yeah? So it's all a big mess. This Wilder situation's a big mess. I just hope he's messy enough to get in there and stick it on Fury. That's all I can hope. But for me, it's up in the air, 50-50. It's a shame Wilder's got no sparring, because this ain't going to prove nothing. We've always known Wilder can. And I've got some videos out before the Wilder rematch, before the second fight. Yeah, I did analysis of Deontay Wilder on the pads. In the video, I said, "Wow, Wilder's starting to shorten his shots up." 2-2's what happens. He gets in the fight, and there's no shortness about it. He gets punched in the mouth, in the thick of things, under the lights, and he falls apart. So, what can we say? And even in the first Wilder fight versus Fury, what do we know? After that fight, what did Wilder say? Wilder said, because if you remember that fight, in that first Fury fight, Wilder was really, his right hand wasn't like it was against Ortiz. That, the one where it's nice and calm and short. It wasn't like that. Wilder was going in there and he was hooking it. He was looking like Jake Paul's right hand. He was chopping it. It wasn't clean at all. And after the fight, he said, yeah, the reason I was over trying it and over stressing the right hand was because of the lights. The pressure of the moment. I wanted it too bad. So Wilder's his whole career has been full of this. That's why he really avoids the big fights. He doesn't do well with it. He doesn't thrive in the thick of it. And now, unfortunately, because of himself and because of spineless training people like Malik Scott, you've got this big cesspit of God knows what. You've got an environment where you've got a man going into his biggest fight of his life and he ain't sparring. He in the sea doing shadow boxing. Wow.